Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to show you around Coles CARBOOT in Wolverhampton. This was the CARBOOT we visited last year, summertime. It was very hot, so as you can see, all of the traders have already left because the heat was getting quite unbearable, and also a lot of the people have already been exhausted, so probably they're somewhere having a drink or having a bite. But for us, as usual, we were late to the party, so we want to make the most of our day out in the car boot. So we just do CARBOOT for fun, as I have told you in our other video regarding the CARBOOT visit we did in, what was that again? I can't remember. My brain is so fried. Sorry, people. Yes, so this is not how we source our inventory. This is purely for fun. But it's always nice to have cash in hand because CARBOOTs only accept cash. They don't do cards, so if you see something nice, you can always pick it up. But set a budget so you don't go buy junky stuff. Okay, people are having a leisurely walk in the CARBOOT. This looks like a family in front of us. There are some clothes on the ground. Usually you'll find loads of bargain, especially for stalls that are not very stylized. They usually want to get rid of their stuff from their spring cleaning or house clearance. That's what I usually find. Especially kids' items. They usually go at the bargain because not a lot of traders specialize on those. So that shop wasn't selling old items. We like CARBOOT because you can find gems you never expect to find. It's a very different experience. It's usually like treasure hunting. Yeah, I'm pointing the camera down because it's quite disrespectful to show people's faces. As you can see here, wide open field. Very big CARBOOT. But as I told you, a lot of the traders have left already because it was too hot, unbearably hot. There's some bouncy castle, bouncy slide for the kids to be entertained. There are some few kids playing, but I think it was too hot as well. Maybe the plastic got too hot. Oh, that's nice. A woman in her blue maxi dress. Very pretty dress. So now we're looping back to the next aisle of the CARBOOT. We're snaking our way systematically here. We're doing the left side first. So you can see here all sorts of things, from chairs to kids items, books, all sorts of things still in the bags. Some plants for the avid gardeners. What is she selling? I think some sweet stuff. Some delicacies. And what are we looking at here? Right, some clothes on the railing. Yeah, quite nice to browse through. Clothes hang neatly on the railings. But clothes are not my forte and they don't interest me that much. Shades for £5, very cheap. And more clothes, you can see the price there. How much? £6. Usually CARBOOTs in the UK are held on a weekend, so this could either be Saturday or a Sunday. And the stars have aligned because the weather was glorious, which is very unusual in the UK. Here you can see some power tools, some grass cutting equipment and whatnot, some rakes, some brush, shovels. That's more of a niche market for the gents, I think. Usually food shops are popular in CARBOOTs because people get hungry. You have here seating for your food shop, and I think that stall on the left side is selling new items. I don't think that's second-hand items. Here we're approaching quite of a bottleneck here. What is happening on the green tent? Gazebo on the right looks very popular. Some toys, which I am not a fan of. But if you have kids, just buy them a couple of toys to keep them happy. Another food van, I think it's a food van or food truck. What are they selling? It looks very pink to me. Should be selling candy floss if it's pink. Or cotton candy for the Americans. I think that's what they call them. Some bags, of course, it's holiday season. People go traveling. Lots of items here. Clothes, rugs, doormats. And what is that? Wellies and shoes. Wow. We would like to do a vlog for Portobello Antiques Market. We've never been there because mostly we just do auctions. That's why. But it would be a nice outing, Portobello. Yeah, we should schedule a day out in Portobello. That would be fun. So here they're selling some hats or caps. They're not vintage. Yeah. And here we've got some shoes. Trousers, jackets. And we have reached the end of the second aisle. We are now looping back to, hang on, where are we going here? Okay, looping back. What are they selling? Some refreshments and chocolates. Very cheap those. That's why it was popular. And some mixture of vintage and new items. I don't know, when I see something new in a stall, that just puts me off. I like seeing something old and a bit junky. Nice bags. Think they're secondhand. Some lampshade. They're selling chips on that truck. And here, what are they doing? Some clothes hanging on the rail. Jeans, trousers. Weather-wise, it was a nice outing. Some newer stuff. Some tools. I like to buy some handy tools, not power tools, every now and again to do some bits of repair, to tighten a screw, to loosen up a screw. And I like some cutters. I think it's called Stanley knife. It's very good for opening boxes and packages. Rather than using scissors, or knife, you need a proper knife to open the parcel. Otherwise, it makes your life very difficult. Here, some new stuff, take toiletries. I've seen some toothpaste, black bags. Yeah, these are more of household items. Like supermarket wholesale kind of thing happening here. This video is quite long. It's saying 69 minutes long, so that's more than an hour. So I hope you have made yourself a hot drink, ready to put your feet up and relax. Sometimes watching CARBOOT videos I fall asleep, but I still listen to the audio. Thus the need for narration. The original video we did for this, I just put some background music. But I find there are lots of interesting things that can be said in a CARBOOT that the video can't communicate to the viewers. So audio plus video is a must. So I'm doing the voiceover for you guys to share the love. Yeah, we were prepared to spend like 20 quid in this CARBOOT, but I don't think we got anything. Or if we got something, maybe just one item, and we just bought some food. That's where most of our money went. I think 15 quid for the food and maybe £5 for some things we bought, which is not a lot. So here, quite empty here. In this CARBOOT I saw a lot of clothes. A lot of CARBOOTs are usually flooded with clothes or some new stuff. But some CARBOOT sales, they restrict what can be sold, like there should be no new items sold. Those are the kind of CARBOOTs I like. Here lots of stuffed toys, soft toys, which is both for kids and adults, because a lot of adults like soft toys that reminds them of something for emotional support, or maybe just reminds them of their childhood. So stuffed toys serve lots of purpose. That's the same bouncy slide we saw earlier, because we're just looping back. Okay, what is that? Maybe some ice cream van. If kids are queuing, usually it's ice cream van. Soft ice cream. At this point, it was too hot. We were tempted to just jump to the last aisle. But we said no, let's do it properly. So we're now 20 minutes into the video. We're 1/3 through. Some household items, I guess. and a mixture of everything: books, magazines, toys. I haven't seen much ceramics here in this CARBOOT, which is usually my thing, ceramics. It looked more of a spring cleaning kind of CARBOOT. I haven't seen many vintage dealers or antiques dealers here. Usually if you're closer to London, you have nice car boots that have more vintage stuff, the more high-end items. Yeah, that kind of car boot is good. I think that speaks a lot to the market, because the closer you get to those places, yeah. So here some new clothes, new t-shirts. Some clothes again on the rail. Newer stuff, curtains, sheets, bed covers, cushions. That's quite nice. That's old. Some bedside tables. Home goods, home furnishing, mirrors. Some vintage trunk in there. Toilet rolls. By the way, guys, regarding toilet rolls, if you haven't done your TikTok shop, go to your TikTok shop. Buy 120 toilet rolls for less than £25. So I tried it just to test if it's legit, and it did arrive. My partner was shocked. He said, "What on earth?" So we have enough toilet rolls to last us for the year and into the next year. Yeah, so just try. And here they're selling some tires. More clothes. What are they selling there? Yeah, so if you're going to car boots, just especially if the weather is bad. They might cancel the CARBOOT sale last minute due to soggy ground, so you have to check to save yourself some misery. Especially in the south of England, we plan to go to 2 CARBOOTs during the 2 May bank holidays we had. Both of those were cancelled due to heavy rains, so there you go. You have to check. Some books. Some DVDs, I think. And some vegetables. Of course, the food truck is always popular. A very yellow car here. If you're looking for a fun family outing that's an outdoor one, you can also try motor shows. We went to the Chelmsford Motor Show, car show, for the Father's Day event, and it was good. We did enjoy. And the weather was perfect. Yeah, during summer, a lot of outdoor events are advertised, so watch out for those. And here, some items, some vintage items, I think. We're doing it quite fast because I know what I'm looking for. And if you've been processing the items, you just skim it very quickly and you'll know what to skip and where to stop. That's why we do it very quickly. And also, CARBOOT is a nice way to get out of the office. Because if you run an online business, it's very tempting to just work 24/7. But I tell you what, you can get burnt out very quickly because you don't clock in and out. And you can work whenever you like, but there are some days that motivation just leaves you. No matter how you look for it, it just leaves you. It just checks out, nowhere to be found. Those are the days that you need to chillax and have a downtime, because when your mind and body is well rested, you'll find your creativity juices start flowing again. You can't really force creativity, it comes to you. You just have to do the right habits, the right routines. Look after yourself, do a bit of self-care and prioritize your mental health. because it is with the mind that we serve the Lord, as they say. And if you're very unwell up there, it's just a matter of time. Because where the mind goes, the body follows. I have proven that myself over and over and over again. No amount of motivation video can bring back your motivation. Once you're burnt out, you just need to step back and give yourself some rest. That's what I can say. Because that's your body's signal that you have worked yourself to the bones. And it's now screaming at you that no matter how you beat me up, I have now resigned. Sorry, but I have resigned. You have to treat me better the next time. So yeah, you have to listen to your body and your mind. Because constant productivity is false productivity. But you never know until you have experienced it yourself. Forget about what the YouTubers say. You have to listen to yourself. I've listened to hundreds of videos and podcasts regarding productivity just to pick me up when my motivation is ready for the checkout. And when it did, and I want it to come back, there's no coming back. It was just a matter of weeks before shit hits the fan and you're ready to throw in the towel. Actually, I've burnt out severally. That's just the reality of entrepreneurship. You work in bursts of super productivity. And self-care is usually at the bottom of the list. And having gone through those cycles, I can say from experience that when you're an entrepreneur, you have to put in self-care a lot and mental health at the top of your list. And that includes a lot of free time. Don't be tempted to work your socks off, saying, more work put in means more profit. Because when you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's just not gonna cut it. You have money but no life, what's the point? What's the point? Yeah, you can see here some newer items. Not my stuff. Some teddies on the ground. We're halfway through the video now. So here some colored glass. That's quite an arty stall. Some shoes, clothes, more clothes. Sometimes if I see some vintage clothes, I could stop and have a quick browse. But if they're just common everyday clothes, we usually just walk past them. Like myself, I go through fashion phases. Like everyone else. I went to a Joe Brown's kind of fashion, and then I went to cottagecore fashion, and then I went to jeans, denim fashion, all sorts of things. So now my clothes are a bit of everything. More toilet rolls. This is quite a fun stall. House clearances. Collection of unwanted. These are usually nice stuff, by the way. House clearance. Because you can find lovely vintage items. Look at those. Isn't that cool? But I think most of these guys' items are quite pricey. So if you are sourcing for your shop, you have to be mindful of the margins in car boots because they price items individually. Unlike auction houses, they sell them by lots, so those are traders' preferred way of sourcing inventory, buying in bulk or lots. But if you're just a casual collector, yeah, CARBOOT is fun. Well, you can still shop for maybe one or two items if they're really unique. And if you know your margins. But don't be tempted to gamble your money, hoping that it can bag you the winning sale. If you run a business, you just have to be consistent in what you do. I heard in one podcast, you have to have a system, not a goal. But for me, that won't work. You have to have both a goal and a system. Because how else will you know you're making progress? That's part of the analytics. You have to have a goal to see if you've reached target or not. Because you can have a system, but you won't know your system is working the wrong way and working against you and not for you. So a goal is very important. I tell you what, don't listen to everything you hear online. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. And you have to do your own thinking. Don't leave the thinking to other people. We can outsource other things we do in our business, but not the thinking part. And that just reminds me of Warren Buffett, because he can outsource everything, but not the thinking part and the decision making part. Yeah, that's why he's a valuable asset to the business. He does 3% work, 97% thinking. So he's a very voracious reader, according to his business partner, Charles Munger. Because business owners can be caught in all sorts of shiny object. Oh, I should do this, I should do that. So they've wasted 70% of their energy on things that don't move the dial, that don't move the needle, and just 30% on things that move the needle, which is your strategizing. I think that's really backwards. Let your system do the work and strategize and study. Anyway, some lovely items on the left there, and some backpacks, some lawnmower, some glasswares and ceramics, and some records, and more clothes on the air. It looks like a washing hanging on the air. Clothes on the rail, some toys, lampshades, and what have you. A mixture of everything. Stuffed toys, tiger. More clothes, more kids' books, clothes. This CARBOOT is flooded with household goods and clothes. Not your vintagey kind of CARBOOT. Oh yeah, I remembered now the giant CARBOOT we did outside London. It's called the Swanley Giant Boot Sale, and we did a video for that. One with just music, no narration. And I just released a video with the narration version. So if you're interested, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel already. Getting hot in the car boot. And some brass items, pewter. Some household goods, more records. I bought a Bush Classic record player and I just played the factory record, I think for one day, not all day. And now my record player has very low sound. I check in Google, what's the problem? So I tried all the recommended things that I should do to restore the volume, but it's not working. So I'll try clean it again with alcohol. And if that doesn't work, I'll have to replace the stylus of the record player. Hopefully it will bring my record player back to life. Because I like listening to slow records. I put it at 33 RPM and I can hear all the imperfections. That's what you call your imperfections are beautiful, because that's the beauty of the record player. You can hear the graininess of the record. That's what you call it. I find it very nostalgic. I listen to it after a work day with a glass of wine. Oh, it's just bliss. Compare it to listening pop songs on the radio. I just can't stand it, you know. It triggers my anxiety. Normal radio, it just do. And instead of me enjoying the music, I end up being very agitated and on edge and sometimes irritated. So that's a no-go zone for me. Some rugs and homemade wines. Is it homemade? And jam, household items, teddies on the ground, dinky toys, some records, some Tar General there, and a pet cage, board games, and more clothes. This CARBOOT is flooded with clothes. Some ceramics, vase, records, some plants, tomato plants, more clothes, some toys, helmets. Okay, so these were these kids' toys. They're getting rid of them. more clothes, shoes, board games, some more clothes. Now we are moving on to, this looks like the last aisle of the car boot. So yeah, we're almost nearing the end. This is quite a long voiceover for me. Some lady stuff and toys again. Some easy chair, that what you call it, from IKEA, I think. Baby stuff, jackets, clothes on the table, more toys, more clothes on the rack, on the railing. Some shoes. The weather is glorious, as you can see. No clouds in sight. More shoes, boots, clothes. Some DVDs or maybe games. A lot of people still collect those, buy those old video games. There's a big fan base for old video games. So they're now quite collectible. Some seedlings for the garden, toys. If you're a toy fan, this is for you. More toys, kids' clothes. Look at that. More kids' stuff. Bags, pictures. They don't look vintage to me, that's why I didn't even check them. Some CDs, some vintage stuff, hats, more clothes, and records, books, and magazines. And looping back now, some toiletries, toys, baskets. I think those are bread baskets. Cushions and pillows. Pictures. Summer clothes. Some deck chair here, or poolside chair. Jeans. Power tools for the lads. Some books. What are they buying there? And what are these? He's getting ready to go home, I guess. Some laundry baskets. CD cabinet. Some pots. And more pots for your plants. Some bags here. Dresses, clothes. Some mirrors, home decor, more toys for the kids. But some dealers specialize in toys, so they come and grab a bargain in CARBOOT because they're cheap. Bikes for sale, kids' clothes again, some snowman, more soft toys, kids' stuff. And now, okay, now this is the real last aisle on the left. That would be the last aisle for the CARBOOT. So more clothes for you. More clothes on the railing. More clothes on the ground, not floor, on the ground. And hooray, this is the last aisle. Most traders are ready to go home. They've had it. It was too hot. We were feeling exhausted this time. We were pushing ourselves to finish the CARBOOT. So yeah, this is the last aisle. We're glad it is. See, a lot of traders have left already. A lot of sellers. So the one on the right is selling new items. What are they selling? Some DVDs. 50p items. What were those? Some knitting stuff for the crafters amongst you, or if you're a dealer selling to the crafters. You can find some cheap inventory in CARBOOT sometimes. Some painting, lampshades. And we got on the right some free to use portaloo, which I think all CARBOOT operators are required to put up. I think it's a requirement by the government. I'm not sure. I could be making that up. Some food stalls. They're actually well placed, those food trucks, because at the end of the CARBOOT, you just want to eat something before you drive off. And people who haven't spent anything still want to spend their money in the CARBOOT, so they'll end up spending all their budget in food. That's why food stalls are always good sellers in CARBOOTs. And hooray, on to the last leg of the CARBOOT. Some vintage towel rack on the left side earlier. Empty spots. And that's your food truck, van, hut. Usually they sell hot dogs, or, well, burgers are not popular. Usually hot dogs. These are usually the hot sellers. Some portaloo. That's a very bad location for a stall next to the portaloo. Some pots and pans. some power tools, vintage items, collectibles, glasswares, figurines, mugs, jugs, CDs, decorative plates, I think, ashtrays. I think I stopped here to look at something, because this is my thing. Some vintage telephones, Gainsborough Road signage. And here are some new household items. Artificial flowers, which is a no for me. I can't stand artificial flowers. Unless you're an event planner, I think, or event organizer, that you have to constantly decorate a hall with flowers, then I guess, yeah, you can opt for artificial flowers. Otherwise, if it's just for home use, just go for the real deal. Okay, we have now reached the end of the CARBOOT walk. So we're now heading to the car, which is parked on the other side of the field. I think the car park was free. We didn't pay anything, even for entrance. I think it was free as well. Or if there was an entrance fee, probably we paid £2 per person. I can't just remember at the top of my head if we paid anything or not. So we walked through all those aisles earlier. So by lunchtime, usually the CARBOOT would be empty. Usually they will say CARBOOT is open till 1 p.m. But if you're a last minute kind of person and you just go at 12 noon to 1 p.m., you'll find nothing. So go early if you're planning to do a CARBOOT. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed this very long CARBOOT tour, and if you did enjoy this kind of content, please leave us a comment or give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Watch out for our next video, because we plan to publish one video, if not more, daily. So I will see you again soon. Take care and goodbye for now. Bye.